Moist Cupcakes 11. Do you like Shane Lowry this weekend? I don't like Shane. Again, Shane's one of the shorter hitters on tour, and I like using Shane on like narrow courses, windy courses. This is more about distance, so I'm more so laying off Shane, even though he's obviously in really good form. He's playing really good golf this year. More so look at other options, especially at the price. Lowry about 35, 40 to 1 range. And then B Mills, hey PJ, I want to get your thoughts on some under the radar guys. How do you like Taylor Pendrith, Cam Young, and Harris English? Also Michael Block to miss the cut at -1,000. B-Mills, obviously, I wouldn't encourage anybody to lay -1,000, but if you're going to do it, betting Michael Block to miss the cut, especially at such a long course when it's going to be soft and with all the rain that came in yesterday, I think that's probably a good bet. I do love putting together like miscut parlays. I think Sepp Straka, putting him in that parlay, I thought Nick made a lot of great cases there as somebody to look at. Pendrith I do like, though, this week. Cam Young is another guy that I like, too, this week. I'll get into him as well. And you just heard Nick make the case for Harris English. So I think all three of those guys could be worth a look this week at Quail Hollow. Some other guys that I like, I'm with Nick. I like Bryson DeChambeau, right? It feels like Bryson is kind of what Morikawa was going into the Masters. Everybody liked Morikawa, and he didn't really put himself into contention. But I really think Bryson's going to put himself into contention here. This course is just such a good fit for him. Outside of Rory, there's really not another guy that can contend with Bryson in terms of driving distance and the short game to go with it. He has played so well in the majors here as of late. In his last 5 major appearances, he's finished in the top 6 in 4 of them. I told you guys yesterday, my favorite bet in the PGA Championship is Bryson to finish in the top 10 at plus money. I think that's a great bet. So I love that. I also like him to win the tournament as well at 8 to 1. Xander Schauffele, another guy I talked about yesterday. I like him this week. Xander obviously won the PGA last year. He edged out Bryson DeChambeau, and Nick talked about it. Valhalla, where they played last year, is the comp course this week that we're looking at when we're talking about Quail Hollow, a longer golf course where you have to drive the ball long, you have to make putts, and that's what Xander does. He's starting to get healthy after missing the first couple months of the year. I think this is a good price on him at 20 to 1. Certainly look at his top 10 number at plus 188. Jordan Spieth, we talked about this yesterday. This is a narrative Peach play, right? This is just the way that my mind works, and this is the way that sports tend to work. We waited and waited for Rory to complete the career Grand Slam, and he finally did it. And now we have Jordan Spieth with an opportunity to do the same exact thing at the PGA Championship. Rory had to wait 10 years to complete the Slam, and this is Jordan's 9th crack at the PGA Championship, and a course that should set up pretty well for him because, again, as Nick mentioned, your short game has to be really good. And anybody that knows anything about Spieth knows that he can make putts, and his short game is really, really good. Jordan's also longer off the tee than people give him credit for, so would not shock me at all if we get to Sunday and you hear everybody on social media and on TV and on radio talk about, could we see another guy complete the career Grand Slam? I think Jordan Spieth worth a look this week. And then 3 long shots that I like. Nick talked about him. Min-Woo Lee, 90 to 1. Why not? I'm looking for golfers that are long off the tee and are good with the flat stick, with their putter. And that's what Min-Woo does, right? This is the kind of golf course where you don't have to be all that accurate off the tee. It certainly helps if you're long and accurate, but really it's about distance. And that's what Min-Woo provides, and he's got a really good short game. I think that price at 90 to 1 is really good. Also give me Wyndham Clark at 100 to 1. This is probably the long shot that I like the best. When they played at Quail Hollow last year for the Wells Fargo Championship, this was the guy that everybody loved. Everybody liked Wyndham Clark at 40 to 1, 45 to 1, and now you're getting him at 100 to 1. And he's not had the best season, but he's not had a terrible season. And this is a guy that bombs it off the tee and make putts. So I think Wyndham Clark could be a factor this week. Keep an eye on him at 100 to 1. And then Cam Young, B Mills, I'm right with you. Cam Young throughout his career has been a guy that's usually been pretty good in these major championships, especially like the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship, always kind of gets himself into contention. I think he's a great look for like a crazy long shot first round leader. Cam Young has not had a good season. He's missed 5 cuts already this year, which is why he's 150 to 1. But he's top 25 in both driving distance and strokes gained putting. And those are the 2 big things we're looking for this week. So at 150 to 1, for a guy who has had a knack for playing pretty good in major championships, I think Cam Young's worth a look at 150 to 1.